Oh, it's a twister. England gets tornadoes now, guys.
I'm Dr. Kajal Dua.
Oh no, if it cuts through the fence into the carnosaurs.
So I expect that you'll do your best.
No, they did. It cut through the fence. Okay, we have major cleanup to do here. We are back with our UK challenge map. The park is looking great, but we actually do not have very much time to be able to reach 5 stars to remain within the challenge time limit. We were slowed down really heavily at the very beginning, but we are about to release our Diplodocus and bring in all that appeal that this giant sauropod is going to have. He's going to go in here to cohabitate with the Ouranosaurus, and then we're going to be looking for yet a third dino that we can fit into there to be able to keep on bumping up our species diversity. Here we go. Let's select the eggs. Let's see what we got out of the Diplodocus. Both of them, no traits. That's fine by me. They are challenging. Oh no, disgruntled. We need somebody who's going to be a welfare specialist. Let's add to our scientist team here. Incubating these eggs takes forever. Part of the challenge of this scenario is that all our tasks take longer, but really having to sit around waiting for 8 minutes to be able to get 2 Diplodocus eggs, it feels like it is pretty excessive. But then again, if we expand our staff to be able to keep the other portions of the park coming along, that eats into our bottom line very significantly. We're making plenty of money right now, but I want to keep it that way because we need to keep getting bigger dinosaurs. And as you see, our profits are taking a little bit of a dip here because I was improving the skills of some of our staff. So hopefully just having them very well trained is going to be enough to see us through. There's like a stampede going on over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. The yellow did not end up being as high contrast as I wanted it to be. Maybe we should have gone with red. I guess if we make any more, we'll make them red. Oh no, black market dealers are interested in buying rare dinosaur meat. Sell the rare meat on the black market and risk upsetting the customer base. Gain $2 million, lose a Diplodocus egg. Chance of losing a 75% publicity rating, or we can turn down the deal for them to be able to eat our dinos. We get a 100% publicity rating, but the criminals are guaranteed to come back and sabotage our operations. Oof. We're gonna lose the egg and let the publicity rating take a hit. Oh no, and a storm is about to come. Okay. Well, it'll take a little bit for things to stabilize after this. That's okay. We've got our very first Diplodocus being released. Can we get like a band around his stomach? I feel like this is guaranteed to snap his neck or suffocate him.
Asset has been transported.
Oh, it's a twister. England gets tornadoes now, guys.
I'm Dr. Kajal Dua.
Oh no, if it cuts through the fence into the carnosaurs.
So I expect that you'll do your best.
No, they did. It cut through the fence. Okay, we have major cleanup to do here.
Another massive animal. The Diplodocus was once considered the longest animal.
She just called it a Diplodocus?
And now, thanks to
I've
our
always said
extensive
Diplodocus.
research, it's back.
Why is
My
that
task
so
is to make sure we learn everything we can about this
sounds
dinosaur.
wrong.
Your task is making sure these magnificent creatures survive in the modern world.
Alright, storm's over, but the dinos are still out. We got the captured teams trying to tranquilize them. Their aim is abysmal as always. We can start flying these guys back into their pens. I want to be able to take care of the rampaging carnosaurs before we open the shelters. So if you could drown that guy for me. There we go. Let's get everybody back out. Go back to your shopping and your viewing and your purchasing. Park's got to make money.
Picking up asset.
Oh, there's way more going on. They opened this fence, or this gate broke down. Oh boy. This is so annoying that this gate cannot be repaired if dinosaurs are nearby. So, whenever I send the ranger teams over, they're like, oh no, there's a dino in the way. I won't repair that. No, repair that. This is priority number 1.
Transportation.
Okay, now that all that chaos is sorted out, how are the Diplodocuses doing over here in their new exhibit? They would like a little bit more forest and a little bit more tall fruit, but otherwise they are extremely happy. We can provide both of those things without too much difficulty here. We want a little bit more forest. Paint that around here on the outside. And then paint in the fruit trees as well. This is providing both tall fruit and ground fruit, so it is beautiful synergy in between the Diplodocus and the Oreosaurus. Oranosaurus. The tour is always good for a laugh. Alright, things are going great here in the park. We have released Compsognathus. Let's see if we can find one of these guys. Here he is. Oh, he's so tiny. He's actually really cute just hopping around. I kind of love it. And so he actually enjoys cohabitating with other carnivores, and they like having him there. The idea is he's a little scavenger who eats the leftovers of their kills. So far, none of the larger dinos have tried to snack on the little guys, so that's a win in my book. And this is helping increase our population density of different unique dinosaur species, even though Compsognathus here is not bringing in that much appeal. I mean, if we check it out, yeah, 21 appeal. He's not helping us all that much, especially not compared to the Ceratosaurs here, 200 appeal for an individual one of those. But our goal in this scenario is to have that 13 different unique dinosaur species, so we have to pack them in. Absolutely pack them in like sardines. Our next look is what we are going to expand over here. We have increased the numbers of the herd of the Diplodocus, so we have a bunch over here. And then the Orosaurus, they're currently going through a cold. A common cold is sweeping through, so some of them are going to complicate to pneumonia, but we'll keep an eye on them, make sure we don't lose anybody. And right now, there we go, DNA extracted, or expedition was finished. We're working on Chungingosaurus to be the next dino who will be able to cohabitate within this zone, because he actually eats the exact same thing as all of these other guys. They all eat fruit, and they all enjoy cohabitating with the other types of dinos. So this is probably one of the strongest sets of cohabitation that I have found of any species. We've also been able to update our park amenities here to large amenities. The crowds are getting really dense. We were having overcrowding in the other amenities, so we wanted to be able to increase things. The gift shop is extremely popular. The other two, not so much, but they still have definitely ways to go. And as we bring in, yeah, we'll go for eradicating disease. That one's usually pretty easy. Right now we have an epidemic. We'll be able to take care of that. But as we increase to having the Chungingosaurus, the Stegosaurids, that will fit in here, that'll bring even more people to this zone of the park. Let's see here. Modify the genome. Even if we don't bring in too many traits, we can still change what they look like. My favorite thing. We'll make them red. Always make them try and stand out. Take away the short-lived chance. And then I don't think I actually need tolerant, because they enjoy living with the other types of dinos in the exhibit they are going to be placed into. So we will give them resiliency. Hopefully, yeah, it's only 50% chance. But whatever keeps down disease. We get 4 eggs out of this. So we'll go for 2 batches to be able to bring their population up to a full herd. Bring those in all at once, and then we're actually going to have to start targeting what our next expansion is going to be, and we have some big plans for that. The Chunkingosaurus will be our 8th unique species, leaving us with 5 more that we have to bring in. We do have plenty of space still. This map was really interesting. If we look high level at the map, we had this zone, which is the central zone, and we had all this that you could potentially expand to, but you would have to build a monorail to be able to keep your transportation rating high still with the guests. I think we're just going to take up this area with exhibits and probably say goodbye to the Innovation Center. The Innovation Center is only providing 100 appeal, so that is basically equal to a single dinosaur that we could have if this was an exhibit, meaning that we're going to make much better use of this space if we just knock this over, and then we can build 2 exhibits over here and try and max out to that 13 species diversity level, because until we hit that level, we're taking just this huge penalty to our appeal, and if the appeal is down, your potential guest count is down, we will gain, by the time we reach it, probably 2,500 appeal just for going over to the 13 target species. And that'll be a big move for us. Okay, let's make sure that pneumonia is not going to kill off anybody here. Well, we actually got resilient on 3 of these guys. That means that they have a lower chance of catching a disease, and then they also have lower health loss while they are diseased, which means they have a lower chance of dying from a disease. They'll be able to give themselves enough time to be able to kick it on their own or help us get medical treatment out to them. Not that I lose too many dinosaurs to disease. It's usually they start fighting with each other and then they kill each other outright. It's how I lose dinos. Or just old age. They grow old. What happened to this guy? Oh, it's just weird because he was in the bush. It looks like he was like flopped over. What I would actually love to do for the expansion is to, no, it's not out of enclosures. It's out of dinosaur creation. I would like to expand to an aviary that will give us, we have 3 different avians that we're able to research on this map. I've had some experience being able to get them to live together, so I think that we can pull that off. Oh man, we have a lot of research to be able to get there. Let's go ahead and start that up. But I think we'll have enough space to be able to fit the aviary in here, and then a final exhibit in here, maybe additional amenities or guest services, and from there, we can just go all in on the aviary because of those guys. We can get a really high density of avians together and have pretty high appeal on especially the final levels that you can research of those guys. So that should be able to push us over that hump to reach 5 stars. Now, will we be able to do it in time? We will find out. A Chunkingosaurus is ready to go, released via airlift, and let's see how they like their new home and how the other dinosaurs like having them around. I always get torn if I should wait to release them until after the epidemic is over, but I feel like we just need to keep on pressing forward here. And then the second batch is ready as soon as the first batch is dropped off. I think you have a limit of 4, maybe you have 5 transportation helicopters, but they can only maneuver in 1 at a time, so it takes a little bit to do the releases via airlift. There he is, and he's already pretty happy. This is amazing. Looking for more open space, but obviously once his territory is able to expand, he'll be able to fill all of that in. He's happy with the other dinosaurs in the exhibit, and it looks like everything pulled off exactly the way we wanted it to. The reason I'm more interested in going for the aviary rather than the lagoon is it's easier to get the avians to be able to cohabitate with each other, and it also has a smaller footprint in terms of space, so we can really cram things together here when we are pretty limited by space. So these guys are the Pterodactylus. Where in the world do I find the Pterodactylus? I believe it's in Brazil. Yeah, there he is. We'll grab this guy and we'll send out cheaper expeditions. Yes. Peng, find me the flyers. Now it is time to begin actually setting things up. So we will knock over the Innovation Center just to make sure that we get... As soon as we knock it over, we reach 4 stars. That's what was holding us back. No, it was the Chunkingosaurus getting added. Now the weird thing about the aviary is that the additional spheres snap onto each other in between the arrows, whereas the lagoon latches arrow to arrow. It's absolutely bizarre the way that they set it up, but that's what they did, so we will play around it. Let's see, what do we want? We could probably go for a full 5 zone. Once this knocks over, we'll add in that additional 1. That gives us a great spot for a viewing area. That basically that one central viewing area will be able to see everything inside. Then we figure out where we're going to squeeze in the hatchery, assign our ranger team to it. I wonder if we want to get a second hospital as our dinosaur population starts really growing. Endangered species is on site. We can sell to a private collector to make a ton of money, or it can take forever to build whatever we were building. I think this is for one of the aviary areas. I don't need the money, but then again, for bringing in the new pterodactyls, they might get pretty expensive. Let's go ahead and grab this. And let's see, what other research can I do to be able to facilitate expanding here? I would kind of like to be able to get the additional hatchery bays or maybe the advanced equipment. Trying to remember which one is better. One gives your eggs a higher survival chance, and the other lets you have like 3 extra batches. We'll see. We could obviously switch between them if we need to. So we go to enclosures, grab the aviary hatchery, and ooh, I could fit it off over here. I actually like that. Keep it kind of out of the way of the guest's path. And we have an archaeological discovery on site. Well, we should have been working over here from the beginning. Endangered species and actual fossils. All right, so I can gain. Yeah, we need to delay construction to be able to make the money, gain the extra publicity. It means that this hatchery is going to take a very long time to complete, but that's okay. That is okay. Cinch it up with a path. We'll have to squeeze it through here. There we go. Now to be able to make sure the guests can see into the aviary, we get the viewing gallery. This viewing gallery is really cool because the dinosaurs actually like just sitting on top of it, which means that they are very likely to stay in view for the guests. Oh, I have to have an operational hatchery to actually research that. Hatchery complete. Now, Ranger Team 2, you will finally have a task, taking care of all of our avians. And that's no easy task. I think that is fair to have assigned that that's their only job. Where is it? We can now research the avian viewing gallery, so we will get that going. Wow, that takes a lot of money and a lot of logistical skill. Whew, $2.4 million. It is a little bit inflated because all of the research costs are increased for the challenge level of the scenario we're playing on. Now, working on the aviary is a nightmare because you cannot turn the dome off. I wish that you could hide the dome to be able to work on the land inside. But no, maybe someday in a DLC they will give us quality of life. We want to have a large water feature here because I know that all of the avians are piscivores. They all eat fish, so we need a lot of fish feeders. We're not able to research fish feeders until we have any piscivores already in the park. So we're gonna have to be ready to do that research immediately. Keep them fed. Ooh, okay, this is amazing. So we go to just the same dig site to be able to get all our avians. Now we can go back to make sure we get some of the fossils for Marodactylus. I guess it means that you're not able to stop early on specific genomes. We're probably going to end up going 100% on all the genomes, even that's not necessarily what we need. Man, our scientist team is real busy right now. But that is fine. I like getting some heavy mods here on the avians because they're going to have such high population density. I really want them to be resilient, but then I also want them to be tolerant because they're just kind of ambivalent to living together. They don't like or dislike the other avians, and we're going to have to be careful that we don't get any aggressive avians who just come over. Oh, stop trying to heal this guy. Sometimes the mobile vet gets hung up, and it's incredibly annoying. But the avians with a little bit of genetic modification, a little helping hand to get along with their neighbors, should be perfectly happy altogether. Another cool thing about the avians is they will actually land and stay on the rocks. So we'll give them some rocky features. Hopefully right close to the guest's view. Make sure that we keep that appeal high. If the dinos are out of view, then you definitely get a penalty, and rightly so. It's no fun to advertise dinosaurs when your guests can't actually see them. Alright, it seems like the viewing gallery is just incredibly finicky. I would love to know what these building constraints are that are keeping it from being able to be constructed over here. Yeah, not being able to put the viewing gallery right where I wanted. It's actually bothering me a lot because you cannot even place one on this side at all. It has to come all the way around over here to be able to fit. It's terrible. So we could wrap the path all the way over, but I wanted to have that entire corner set up as another dino exhibit. Maybe that's still how we make it work. We'll see how much of having the avians out of view is a problem because, oh, I can't select it while it is building, but basically it comes out as a diagonal this way. And so this little orb is actually not viewable. I could delete it, and then the aviary would have less space inside, but it would keep all the dinosaurs corralled so that they're in view. We'll see what it takes, but we'll be ready to modify this setup if we need to. Time to release Pterodactylus! Release the dinosaurs into the aviaries. Hey, I thought I made them red. No! They've been thwarted!
Flying animals concern me the
Oh well,
most from a
they look
security
fine.
standpoint. We can round up escaped land
Now
animals,
to
but when they
research,
get to
where
the
is
sky,
it? Where is it? There,
all
fish.
bets are off.
Go to the
This
environment.
is the Pterodactylus.
Oh, I can't do it. I have to go to the research menu.
The only known
Piscivore feeder. Easy to research, relatively so. Oh wait, I have to have... Okay, I take it all back. It's not easy to research. You need really strong welfare to be able to research it. There we go. There's the ranger team showing up, so they go over here, then they launch a drone that will go out and check on all of the dinosaurs, do their wellness checks. So you don't actually need a ranger station inside the aviary, you just assign them directly to the hatchery. And then we have our next batch ready to be released. So let's send those in. Is that right? We got another 4? We had 2. No, I still only saw 3. Oh, there's the other 4th one. Yes, we got 2 full batches. That's actually extremely lucky. Very nice to see that. Staff, I think I saw someone was disgruntled. Yeah, okay, but only 1. Only 1 was disgruntled. We should make sure that we have the research going to be able to keep on expanding our different avian types. I want to go in here to be able to get to the Tropionathus. He's going to be the big boy, the star attraction of the aviary, and I cannot research him. Darn it. We will have to wait until some of the other staff come off break to be able to get him going. And as soon as they come in, they get sick. Amazing. Okay, we got the feeders, so we'll get the feeders down first before I forget. And we have a wave of starvation. And then, yeah, we'll get a couple feeders. We're planning on having a lot of them all together. So there we go. There we go. 4 different feeders. And then bring in the vet. The vet is also going to have to go to the hatchery and then launch a drone. So it becomes a little bit of a trick to be able... Oh, it looks like they're trying to break out. Looks like they're trying to find a way out of this place because they know there's no food here. But now that we added them, they should be a little bit more content. Let's see. Checking on them for wellness. 100%. Okay, excellent. Now let's see. Can we spot the drone? Here it goes. There's the little drone. Okay, undiagnosed ailment. What are you going to figure out, Mr. Drone? Can I manually control the drone? I can't. I cannot click on it. Why are you just sitting here? Why are you not able to reach this guy? Okay, so he has surface wounds. The other ones, we're not sure yet. Okay, so we can. The drone can help repair surface wounds from afar. It's an absolute wonder. What happened to you? You got a sprain. Oh, okay. So basically what happened was they were trying to get out because they had no food and they injured themselves trying to break out of the enclosure, all 3 of these guys. You know what? I'm not going to fault them for that. But it's how the game is set up. I cannot set up their food supply until I already have them released in the park. I really wish it wasn't that way, but it is. I'm targeting having a flock of 10 of all of the different avians. So we have 3 different avians. Right now we're still harvesting the DNA for the other 2. So we only have the Pterodactylus in the enclosure right now. And right now we have 7 of them, I believe, if we go to synthesize dinosaur. Yeah. Population 7. So we have another batch on the way. Hopefully that takes us, we get the full batch and we go up to 11. That'd be great. If we're down just right around 10. Either way, we want this 3rd batch to give us a full flock of these guys. And yeah, this is my favorite part, is that they'll just wait right up here, right in view of the guests. And otherwise, the feeders are in view of the guests. I don't see any resting around on the rocks right now, but the aviary is taking shape. You can put other types of foliage and other things down here. You can change the elevation inside, But I feel like
Hey, take a
most
look at
bird
this next
exhibits that you
objective.
go to, like
I
the
mean,
ground floor
I'd
is
do
just
it, but
completely
why have
plain,
you?
and they do all the effort up on kind of like the cliff face that they can roost on and trees and whatnot. So I'm just gonna leave it a very flat base. Oh, I only got 2 eggs. That means we're gonna have a population of 9, and I'll want to do another batch. All right. Well, that's fine. We can actually go ahead and get that batch going now because we are still a ways away from having either of the other 2 types. So let's get the scientists back to work. Wow, our amenities are doing so well. So the medium ones are still maxed out, and then this row, they are not maxed out, but still bringing in hefty, hefty profits. I think as the aviary is going to be pulling in more and more guests, we're going to want to move to having large amenities right around this corner. Oh, who died? Who died? Yes, these guys are starting at the end of their lifespan. I had one other one die earlier, died of old age. So we're probably going to want to update to a new batch. Just give me a fresh batch of our ceratosaurs. Now, the issue with introducing a fresh batch of the ceratosaurs is there's going to be one young buck who wants to take over Alpha, and their population has been stable over here for so long. They're not fighting with each other anymore. They're not hurting each other. But the young guys will come in and try and shake things up. Oh man, the aviary does not like storms. Not at all. Everything gets damaged when the storms come through. These domes, I don't think are going to break down on me. Or at least, I don't think these guys are going to let other ones out. What else broke down? Oh, we lost power out over here. Okay, where did the power lines break? One of the little Pterodactylus is making his bid for freedom. Time to shoot him down. Pick him out of the sky. Is that another one? Yeah, another one's getting out. Great. Excellent. The Ceratosaurus figured out that the power was cut, so they're busting out of the fences. We're gonna have to shoot those down too. Oh no, Concept Nathus wants to get out too. He's going to be a pain because he's so hard to see. I can only imagine what it's like to try and hit him with a tranquilizer dart from a helicopter. Marodactylus is just about to be added into our aviary. We want to modify the genome. It looks like they have a high tendency for some pretty negative traits. Let's see, the other ones are red in there, so we'll go for the lighter color here. Be able to take sickly off, and then we need to switch intolerant over to tolerant as much as possible. There we go. It means that it's going to be pretty taxing on our scientists to be able to synthesize the eggs, but they need to be able to get along with the other avians in the zone. Otherwise, it is not going to be worth it. Oh, and the feeder has gotten infected. Okay, we'll send the drone out to be able to reset the feeder, and then we'll grab over here and we'll see, what did they get infected with? I think I have all the research done for like Salmonella, E. coli, hookworms, etc. We should be able to just heal them up. Give them the treatment. Here he comes.
Asset transported.
Launch the drone. Yes, they have hookworms. Okay. We can deworm them from the drone. Okay, these guys keep on catching hookworms. This means that there's actually a bug going on. And one of the other feeders is also infected, but it's not displaying it to allow me to be able to reset it. Let's see. Can I order them to reset? No. Not through the helicopter, at least. How about you? Add task. I just get status checks. I'm not able to actually change it. Alright. So then, joy of joys, we delete the feeders and then rebuild them. This one we did reset, so I don't think that one is the problem. Okay, I want to hear it say no cases of hookworm left in the park. We might have to delete this one as well. Nasty little parasites they are. No, that final feeder was still infected, even though our rangers went and disinfected that one specifically. We'll reset these feeders, get that last case of hookworms cured, and then... Oh, we're not quite ready. We need to incubate these. Taking our sweet time getting these dinos ready. There it is. No sources of hookworms remained. Thank goodness. That took way longer and way more micromanagement than I want. We are still releasing more ceratosaurs because the old batches have gotten old.
Collected.
Out with the old and in with the new. 3 new guys. Let's see how they mix with the ones that are already in there. Marodactylus, ready for release. These guys look nasty with this just face of teeth. Yeah. Hideous. Hideous dinos, but the guests seem to like coming around to see them. Their appeal rating is 120, which is pretty great. Let's see, they want open space, they want fish, they want water, so they're not picky. They should do well out here. We're here modifying the Tropionathus genome. This is going to be the final avian we're going to add. Take away the chance of being short-lived. Give him a little bit of a chance at being resilient, or do I want it to be tolerant? Let's go with tolerance. That's kind of what we were targeting for the aviary. And so he has a chance of being vulnerable, chance of being thirsty, that's fine. And humble, hopefully we get a humble one. That would be amazing. And then increase the tolerance here. Does it one more? It pushes up to 11. I kind of want to keep it at 10 here for the genetic skill to be able to incubate the eggs. Or synthesize the eggs, I should say. So let's get that going. Oh, 9 is the real breaking point for me. Alright, it's still a little bit cheaper. We'll run this, and then that will add a new dino type. We have our final exhibit taking shape. It looks kind of weird, it's kind of small, but we just have to fit 2 new species of dinos in here along with the new avian, and that will take us up to 13, which will let us cash in on this 2,000 appeal that is just sitting around that we were being penalized for not having 13 different types of dinosaurs. What is happening over here? I want these sauropods healthy. This exhibit, once again, we're going for the plan of having the viewing platform be able to catch the backside, and then the viewing gallery able to encompass everything else. There'll be a little bit missed over in this corner, but the hotel picks that up, so hopefully none of the dinosaurs are ever out of sight. And I want to do a kind of interesting thing with this exhibit. I want to have it all set lower down in the ground. So we're going to reduce the radius here, and while we wait for our staff to finish all the tasks they have been assigned to, we're going to work on this. I think it'd be kind of cool because it's definitely a thing that zoos do where they have these moats and the guests kind of start from on top and they get to look down to the dinosaurs. This is the closest way we'll be able to replicate that, is by just lowering the rest of the exhibit. And terrain editing costs extra in this scenario as well. Now we need to kind of mark up the middle here, make it look interesting. We need to have space, enough flat space to be able to have a source of water as well, so we don't want it too roughed. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool, and I think we can turn this into a pond. Yeah. Okay, there it is. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. If it was a larger zone, it would probably be able to be made more interesting, but we'll go with this. We're working away at being able to get Iguanodon into that final herbivore exhibit, and then looking at who the other dino is going to have to be with him. I'm targeting another one of the ankylosaurs because he likes living with those. And down here, Sauropelta eats ground fruit and ground leaf, a mix of both. The Iguanodons, I believe, just go for ground fruit. Yeah. So there's going to be overlap there on that food source, which I think will be very useful for keeping them happy together. So now we need to make sure that we have Sauropelta unlocked. Let's go to the research. Sauropelta is right here, so he's already unlocked. We're just going to have to go on the expedition to find him, and now we get to mouse over every single dig site that we've not been to so far to figure out where Sauropelta is found. Ooh, he's over here, but that's going to give me a mix of Sauropelta and Diplodocus. I would really like to just get only Sauropelta, so we're going to go to this dig site instead. And we'll send our Expedition Master that we've had from the very beginning of the game. He was our original staff member. We only started out with one, and he has still been fantastic for us here, even at the end. So we know we want to have ground fruit. We'll paint that into part of the exhibit. And hopefully the Iguanodon likes that quantity. Then we can tailor the other half of the exhibit to the Ankylosaur that we want to fit in. What's the genome for the Iguanodon like, and what can we make them look like? Let's see. I think this guy is the dinosaur that the main character of the animated movie Dinosaur is based on. Correct me in the comments if that's not quite right, but I watched that movie a ton as a kid, so I love the Iguanodon being able to get it here. And he has a high chance of being needy and this high chance of being short-lived. Okay, we're gonna go 25% chance short-lived so that we can go to only 50% chance needy. Wow, these guys' genome is terrible. The king of the aviary is ready to be released. It is Tropionathus. I clicked the wrong button. Release Tropionathus into the aviary. This guy, I'm ready to be impressed. Oh, he's got like that huge fin on the end of his beak. He's still got teeth, so is it still called a beak? Is that just his mouth? Teeth and beaks don't go together for anything that we have alive today. Let's see how, oh wait, cohabitation issue. Why do you have a cohabitation issue? Is it because he's not tolerant? I can only release the tolerant trait ones. Hopefully he doesn't hunt any of the little guys. That's gonna get expensive very fast. He actually wants some forest. Okay. Well, we get to add forest to the aviary now. That's going to be interesting. So we'll swing around here and paint it in. Yep, not much space for trees. The aviary was really not meant to be able to have this. And this looks terrible. This is a nightmare to work with because I have to watch it all through the visual of the aviary dome. But there he is. He didn't need a lot of forest, thank goodness. Now his comfort level is still going to be really high, so as long as his comfort level is super high, hopefully he doesn't really want to pick on anybody with that cohabitation hit. Man, okay. We're going to have to modify the genome for any other ones that we try and release to make sure they are tolerant so that they're going to be happy and calm. But 216 appeal for some of these. We can have a huge flock of like 10 of them. That would be amazing. 2,000 appeal. Keep on cleaning up old dead dinos. Kind of sad, but we're busy adding new ones right now. Why is it not selecting? Well, for all our effort in improving the Iguanodon DNA, we have needy, needy, needy. So plus 30% environmental needs. That means the amount of food, mostly because they don't have a huge list of needs, but you're going to have more of whatever they are looking for them to be happy. So it's going to be more challenging to get them to cohabitate, but we'll see if it works out. I really want to be able to rush to get these guys in the exhibit. The Iguanodon, at least the first batch, is ready to be released via airlift, so we're going to drop them in while their brothers or cousins, like batch 2, completes, and we will make sure that even though they are very likely to be needy, that we have enough of a food source for them to be happy. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's that nightmare glitch. Oh, why does the game have this? You'd think that they would have enough quality control to be able to keep something like that from going on. But now he's fine. Look at that. He's totally fine now.
One caused the other to take risks that could not be fully mitigated, and, well, the creations turned on.
Why is he not finding any ground fruit? Was that...
optimal result.
What did I put in there? Oh, I put in ginkgo, which provides tall fruit and tall leaf. I need to provide this grove.
Has a stubborn disposition.
Okay,
It's
so
called
we
the
get to
Iguanodon.
switch this
It's an
entire thing.
herbivore with attitude.
The Iguanodon is such
I'd
a cool
suggest giving it
dino.
a wide berth.
They have these like spikes on their thumbs that they use for being able to do digging, but they'll also fight with them, and it's like they're knife fighting because they come around, they try and shank each other in the neck. Absolutely brutal if they get into fights with each other. Okay, they're looking for more open space and more ground fruit. They're not going to find any more ground fruit, so we should probably add that all the way through the back here. And then they're just going to have to stay below perfect because they hit that needy trait so hard. But that is kind of unavoidable because we're definitely in crunch time to be able to get all of our species out into the park. I don't want to say that no one say that I've been engaging in last minutism, but we're in under an hour to be able to hit par, and we are so close. If we can cash in on this missing appeal that has just been held back from us with the release of our final species, I think we can make it. I really do. We've hit, I don't know what this target appeal rating is. We've hit it. We probably need to go over it to be able to get more potential guests. If we look at our guest comfort, the transport rating is holding us back a little bit, and the accommodation rating is holding us down a little bit. So we'll find a spot to be able to put in another hotel, and that's going to be as good as it can be. We can't really do anything for transportation. You have to do a monorail for that, and we've kept things in so close, we really can't utilize that. So we could have 1,500 guests in the park, but right now, because you have to walk a little ways, only 1,300 are showing up. Amenities are doing great. They have excellent coverage. They have really high profit margins, and they still have space to be able to push those margins up even more because we've updated all of our amenities to be large amenities. What did I say I was working on? Oh yes, the hotel. The small hotel. Because I've not researched the large one. And the space is really filling up. It is hard to find a spot to be able to put anything, but we do have this zone, so we're going to do that. Even though it gives effectively no view of dinosaurs, which is what the hotels are looking for, it will still bring our accommodation rating up because technically we have more beds now. And where did somebody die? Oh no, where was it? Oh good. I was like, if it was in the aviary and they're hunting each other, then we're doomed. The Draco Rex population has really tanked. We should probably get another batch. Yeah, they're down to 5, but we also need Sauropelta. Those are going to be the 2. Draco Rex, Sauropelta. Modify this genome. Let's see, what is messed up about the Sauropelta? Not too much. Okay, trying to make them, we'll make them really dark and armored shells. I don't want them to be antisocial. It's not going to be a too big of a deal because I don't think we're going to get a real large population of them together. So then the rest of this can go into resilience, or honestly, I'll just keep them easy for the scientists to be able to work on. Oh no, someone did die over here. Who was it? Tropionathus? What? Hunted down by CEA 06? CEA is the little guy. This is the big one. The giant was hunted down. Where's CEA 06? Where's the killer? That's 07. I wonder if they have the ability to like fight in packs. Anyway, one of these tiny ones that we released first hunted down one of the big ones. That's crazy. What would cause them to do such a thing? I thought the little ones were like really happy too. That's the Marodactylus. He's pretty happy. Where's the Ceradactylus? I guess he's not quite as happy. Let's see. What's bothering him? Cohabitation issues. Not enough sand. He's mad there's not enough sand, so he killed somebody. Wow. I kind of wish I'd come over here to watch what their fight looks like. I've never seen the avians going at it. Okay, time to provide support to everyone who caught pneumonia over here. The cold is passing through, and it's not great. It's not looking good for everybody. Ah, there he is. That's the killer. So he got a laceration. There was a fight back. It wasn't just all him. Well, we'll need to tranquilize him and get him to the hospital because I guess the idea is we're going to rehabilitate him and leave him around. Now do I want to get another batch of Tropionathus? I probably do. They have really great appeal ratings. Let's, I'm I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna hold back because if they get ganged up on and killed, then it's a huge waste of money. Well, I only got a single Sauropelta out of that batch. That's very unfortunate. Then again, I only need one to be able to count as a unique species. Here's the batch of iguanodons that are ready to go, released via airlift. Increase the herd of iguanodons. Maybe we'll see them fight. Maybe one of them will want to take Alpha and we'll get to see them thumb fighting. The thumb wars for them is unlike anything you have ever seen. Maybe I should not have brought in that extra batch because now they're feeling even more cramped in what was already a smaller exhibit. And then how far out does this? Yeah, so if I extend the exhibit out the back, they don't add very much. Well, we could sell some of them to make the remaining ones more comfortable. We may want to do that. We're going to try and do this carefully and weed out the needy ones. So right now, needy will apply to the whole group if the alpha is needy. So we're going to hit the alpha with the tranquilizer, sell him off. There you go. So we go to transport and then we go to sell dino. Man, we were selling a lot of dinos early on. Takes me back to the very beginning days, how we started this park. And here he is, the legend Pterodactylus. Headed back out. No source of common cold. That's excellent. How is that Sauropelta coming? He's coming. We wanted to get another batch of Dracorex going, so we're going to assign the scientists here. Get them rocking. Oh man, he is so easy to work on. There we go. Start that up. It looks like a lot of our staff need to be rested. So we're gonna have a rest day for the staff. Give these 3 a breather. Once we release the Sauropelta, then we can really start to try and figure out how we can make that final push to 5 stars. We are so close. 4.7 right now. Who's the new alpha? Oh, they're trying to get out. Are they trying to break out? It looks like they are. Thankfully, the fences are very close to their security rating. He is also needy. Okay, we're gonna drop this alpha. Wow, Dracorex also finishes very quick. We only got 3 out of 8 eggs. That's abysmal, but the rest of it is fine, and we're just using it to bring up the population of the herd already in there. So I think they're at 5 right now. That'll take them to 8. That's good enough. Good enough for me. Okay, this iguanodon is going to be sent off. So I don't know where we sell them. I guess there's parks everywhere now is the idea. So somebody wants him. They paid actually more for him than they did for the other one. Man, they are still smacking up this fence. Are they actually making any progress? No. Okay, the fence is holding. The fence is holding just fine. I should probably go for a ranger post here. And then, yeah, we'll assign, where is it? Capture team 2. They'll do the aviary and whatever we want to call this exhibit. Iguanodon and friends. Okay, they're still trying to bust out. This new alpha is no longer needy though, so I think their contentment will rise significantly. Let's see here. Well, it wasn't significant, but they have moved to be comfortable. Hopefully adding in Sauropelta doesn't upend that. So we're gonna release via airlift our one little guy. Usually these guys are antisocial, so I think they're gonna be happy even if it's only one. We might have to do another batch to give them a mate. But then the Dracorexes can just be released. Released at the front doors to the main exhibit. There he goes, little friend. You are the 13th species. You have made it. Let's see, he wanted more ground fruit.
It's called the
ground leaf. What is happening here?
Bony armor,
He wants
it
ground
has
leaf.
long
Okay.
spines projecting from its neck. All that being said, it is a relatively calm animal when placed in the right environment.
There, that makes him happy. So then we could go to the one that provides ground fruit. And actually add it in over here so the iguanodons are a little happier. Did we do it? Yes! 5 stars! Completion is 10:16, 45 minutes away from par time. We made it! And we have unlocked the ankylosaurid cosmetic genes. Pachycephalosaurid cosmetic genes, sauropod cosmetic genes, and ornithomasaurid cosmetic genes. All right, let's do a tour of the park, review what it took to get us here. This shot is actually beautiful. Is that? No, that's not us. That's a generic park. Is it at the same location, though? At first, I could recognize the map, and I was like, oh, yeah, there's an aviary, and there's our exhibit. No, that's something that they made. Ha 5 stars. So what it was when we hit 13 species, we were able to cash in on all that appeal that we had been penalized from before, and that was able to shoot us up way over the target appeal. That brought in a lot more potential guests. As we see here, our guest count has gone up significantly. We're at about 1,600 here, whereas before we were right around 1,300. And so that increase in ticket sales and then also increase in amenities was what brought us all the way over the edge. Your star rating doesn't depend on your appeal. What your appeal does is it brings in guests, and then you monetize off of the guests to get your ticket sales and your amenity sales, and your star rating is based on your income. So it is saying how efficiently are you monetizing based on the number of guests that you are having, not just are you building huge exhibits with lots of dinos. People are able to enter here at the arrival point, and then we have our hub of operations. This is stuff that we recycled from the original park that was here. When we started, we had 0 starting cash, and there was just flaming ruins of a park with a number of wild dinosaurs roaming. So what we did is we went out and we sedated all of those dinos, and then we picked which ones we wanted to use as our starting attractions, and we just sold the rest to be able to have the money to begin our park. So we got, I think we had like 1 attraction, and then we had the Nigerosaurus. We had 2 Nigerosauruses that we'd had here. They have both died at this point, but we were able to figure out how to create more so we have a stable population here in the park forever after. And these guys really were an amazing starting piece because their appeal is so high, 218, and so having 2 of them together brought us up to 1 star almost immediately. Pretty crazy. And then we also had roving bands of the Dracorexes. Where are those guys? Here they are, far side of the exhibit. We were able to pick up a pair of them. Oh, we caught them right as they were starting a fight. That's amazing. So we found a pair of them, and they were lonely for a long time. But then we figured out also how to synthesize them, so we were able to get a bunch more. And they are still just going at it. Wow. The next step for us was adding in the carnivores, leveraging in how high the appeal is for the carnivores. 200 off of these guys, and they are really cheap and easy to be able to get. You can get them early on, so they brought in a lot of guests for us, and this exhibit is really cool. I love the forest here. A lot of wild prey going around, so you can see them hunting. And if you look ultra closely, maybe you can see a Compsognathus hopping around. Let me know in the comments if you see a Compsognathus, because I don't see one. But we have them in here just as a unique species. And we had this exhibit, which I am actually very proud of, with the water and the island in the middle. These guys look just bizarre. And then the Diplodocus, to say it the way that the game was saying it, is super cool. He's thought to be the longest dinosaur from nose to tail, and he's got this ridge. I guess the tour just stops until he finishes his nap. Man, the tour probably sounds awesome as an idea, but I would not want to ride it. Where did our fence break? Wow, the iguanodons want to break out. All right. He is so huge compared to normal people. Oh, it's a massacre. It's not just the carnivores that are dangerous. I'm sure all those people will be fine. Ooh, infamous guest fatality. The shady organization is happy that one of our infamous guests were hurt. All right, I'll take the money. I always think that's hilarious that they'll pay you for it. Next, we brought in the aviary with our 3 avians. This one is actually, I think, going to be one of the most popular exhibits. Let's see. So we have 18,000 local dinosaur appeal to be viewed out of the aviary. We have 16,000 over here with the iguanodons. So the iguanodons are actually quite popular. Ooh, 29,000 out of the original. Just so many different dinos that you can see out of there. And then over here, 29,000. So wait, which one was higher? So this one by 11 appeal is better. And then the carnivores, 1,300. Okay, so the most popular viewing stations are right here and right here, bringing in enormous amounts of appeal for us. But every single exhibit is pulling a lot of weight to be able to get us guests appeal rating, and especially this 13 target species. We have 100% accommodation rating with our 4 small hotels. We have 100% emergency shelter coverage with only 2 emergency shelters, and 100% bathroom coverage, I think with only, no, we have 3 restrooms now. I moved this one to be able to build the large amenity, and then I had to build another bathroom over in the corner. But we had 100% coverage with only 2 bathrooms as well. We just had to jumble it around to be able to get the amenities up and going. So they are all large amenities. We have 2 of every kind, and we have dense enough crowds to be able to have them operating at an enormous profit margin, which is how we're able to pull off a 5-star park this small. This is tiny. The map is small, and we're only using a third of the map. We could have extended over here and over here, but I figured that was going to be too expensive and time consuming to be able to manage out, and would also require installing a large monorail. And I thought we would be able to pull it off just with these exhibits, and we just barely did it. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching the video, and comment on what you would potentially like to see me play next. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.